Good afternoon, Ronnie Gelfont, 21st Century Public Adjusters. Today, we're going to talk about more special endorsements. Today's specific special endorsement is going to be service line coverage, how this impacts your overall coverage and how you actually obtain this type of endorsement within your policy. Explain service line coverage and how it actually relates to an insurance property coverage. It is an interesting endorsement because most people don't understand the word service line is not water line, because water line would mean it would just be carrying water. Service line means anything that's serviceable line-wise on your property. So let's give a strong understanding. Foundation of your home is the property itself. Most policies under an HO2 or a higher type policy have the pipes and everything included within the structure of your home, foundation all the way through. Once you get from the foundation of your property onto the property itself, as an example, you have the street, you have the sidewalk, you have your front property, then you have your structure. Everything from the street all the way to the front structure of your home will fall under service line coverage. What happens here? Your water company can possibly give you a call and say, hey, you got a water leak. You don't know anything about it. So you say, where is it? They said, we don't know. We just know that you're going through 50,000 gallons of water a day. You normally go through 10,000 gallons. So the point being is there's a problem. So what you have to do as a homeowner is you got to figure out your problem. It's on your property. If you call your insurance company and you don't have service line coverage, you will be denied because it's not their job to do anything outside the confinement of your home under a regular policy. Service line coverage is the foundation to the actual street, and if something broke down somewhere in there, whatever that $15,000 to $25,000 fix is going to be, you want to have coverage to have that worked out for you the right way. So service line coverage can be bought not only from your insurance company, you can also purchase it from your water company. Be careful of fly-by-night companies because at every little angle, someone's trying to get in your pocket for something. So if you don't stick with your insurance carrier, I live in Lower Makerfield County here in Yardley. We go through the water company. I think I pay $483 a month. I have full coverage for any kind of water-related problem, waste-related problem on my property through my service line coverage. Service line coverage, as they say, can also be purchased by the insurance carrier. Check both of them, check what the limitations are, see what the deductible is, see what overall coverage you're having to make sure you're comparing apples to apples, okay? The biggest thing with it is to ensure that they're going to cover whatever is wrong, water or waste, because those will go at some point, and it doesn't have to be the front of your property. You could have a property where it's in the back of the property. Just know if it's not under the foundation of your home, you need the separate coverage of service line coverage, a great special endorsement to have. Sometimes what you're going to find within the endorsements itself is when they look at what's going on, a lot of what looks to go on within your home, insurance always tries to find an area not to pay. And the reason for this is there's a variety of things that they don't pay for, and most of that relays under one little piece. It's called maintenance. It's called repairs and maintenance. And that will lead us into my next segment that I'm going to talk to you about, which relates not only to maintenance, it's safety. When you have safety and you maintain things, things are safer. And when all those things are proven, you're in a better position when dealing with the insurance company. In our next podcast, I will talk about variations in safety and things to be a little bit more thoughtful of in times when you're not thinking of it to ensure that you're in a better position and most importantly, safe. Great question. You want to know about what are specific service line situations I might have encountered over the last few years doing my adjusting, and what scenarios people should look out for and how it could impact them. Right now, I'm working on three things. Walked into a person's house the other day. The whole entire basement floor in a row home in Philadelphia is dug up. This much space of concrete is taken out of the floor of their home to get to the pipe that's down on the bottom. The pipe in the bottom is actually collapsed, but because of where the pipe is fitted, this is actually part of the infrastructure of the home. Yes, this pipe leads out to what would be a service line to the property, but the damages are all internal to the structure of the property. So in this particular instance, as originally thought, the insurance company felt that the damages in the basement before everything was dug up was wastewater from the outside coming in. No one knew that it was wastewater from the inside not going out. Two different types of waste, both bad, but what you need to understand is waste that can't leave your home is covered under your policy. Waste is coming from the outside is considered backup, and definitely through a service line situation, you need to have certain coverages for that. So it's falling into a very weird scenario. What happened upon me showing up there after they were denied, they got a contractor out there, dug the whole ground up. Contractor shows me and explains to me the whole entire line in the house is crushed. Collapse is the word he used. I said, great, put it in your report. They have now full coverage because collapse is covered under a policy. The pipe within your structure, your home, is covered under your policy. And we were able to get all these damages fixed. The unfortunate piece was the $387 for the new pipe. That's the homeowner's responsibility. But the $14,000 dig of all the concrete, that falls under access, and that is definitely covered under the policy and is being considered currently right now. That's one scenario. Second scenario, have a person who's got water coming in their home. They don't know where it's coming from. They have to get the wall opened up. They open up the wall. They see it's the service line that's coming in the house. Thank God they got service line coverage, because guess what? If they didn't have service line coverage, this would be a fix that they would have to fix themselves, not be able to get reimbursed for it by insurance, because that's really what insurance is for, reimburse you or take over the cost of damages. In this case, having service line coverage, they were actually able to fix the service line, do the complete job, $16,000 worth of work, all covered under a $500 deductible because they had the proper guidance. Another scenario. Homeowner is told by the water company there's a leak. They pinpointed that it's somewhere on his property. He calls a plumber. Plumber didn't have the right resources and tools to figure it out. He had to call another plumber. I always recommend call a plumber, know who you're calling. This plumber is able to come out with what they call a Doppler. Doppler allows them to listen to the ground, figure out where water is leaking. Once they figure out where the water is leaking, they bring out another tool. They bring out the camera. They bring the camera out, look underneath. They see there's a little break underneath. They make an X on top of your floor in your kitchen, showing you exactly where this is. Then they show you another spot outside, basically telling you you have water leaking here and you have water leaking here. It's on the same line. What line is this? Service line. Thank goodness, once again, this client has service line coverage. So the service line on the outside was pulled. They disconnected on the inside, pulled the whole line out, put a whole brand new line in. All damages, thank goodness, were only on the exterior side in this case. Everything was covered by insurance. And that's being handled right now, actually at the point of where they're fixing everything on the final fix. These are various examples of how service line can impact a property, how variations of how it can be brought forward. Maybe you see the damages, maybe you have no idea something's going on and you get called by the water company telling you have a water problem. And think about that particular claim. That is a claim where they were only able to get reimbursed for all the actual access that took place and actually have coverage for it. And there was no real damages except for the actual service line being ruptured. And that, of course, is service line coverage, why it's important to have service line coverage, and how any time of day it can impact you and how you need to rectify the problem no matter what.